Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. Question number 2. من أبواب الفعل الثلاثي المزيدي باب فعل. From the derived forms, we have the bab which is called فعل. زيدت فيه ألف. Alif is added to it. زيدت. This is the passive form for zada yazidu, yeah? So zada yazidu, and the passive will be zida yuzadu. And we know that alif is feminine in Arabic. All the alphabet, all the letters in Arabic are feminine, from alif up to ya. So that's why we have the verb which is also for the feminine. Zidat fihi alifun. Alif is added to it, or alif is increased. Ba'd al-fa'i, after fa al-kalima. As we know that there are three root letters basically. We have fa, ain and lam. And then after fa al-kalima, alif is added, as we can see over here. So it was basically fa, la, and when alif is added to it, it becomes fa'ala. For example, safara, samaha, akhadha. So all of them, as we can see over here, we have extra alif, and that's why it becomes the derived form of the verb. And here, as we know that it was basically, we have two here, alif and alif, two alfan over here, and then we know that when the first one is mutaharrik and the second one is sakin, it changes into mad al-asli, and we prolong it for 2 seconds, so it becomes akhadha. Like we have amana, but that is different, and this one is different. استخرج من الدرس الأفعال الواردة فيه من باب or من باب فعل. So استخرج, we have to take, or we have to bring out. استخرج يستخرج استخراجا, form number 10. From من الدرس, from the lesson, الأفعال الواردة فيه من باب فعل. So the verbs that are from bab فعل. So I'm sure you can do that, right? We have gone through the whole lesson. We have discussed all the text in detail, and inshallah, I'm sure you can do that. It's doable. It's not something difficult. Then we have question number 3. Ta'ammal, and lam is sakin, and when we connect it with al, we connect it with kasra. Ta'ammalil mithalaini. Now we have to reflect on 2 examples. It was mathalani, ani, aini, aini. So because we have here fail plus file, so this is maf'ul bihi, and maf'ul bihi, as we know, it comes on the pattern of aini. Thumma, then, hati al-mudari'a, then bring the present tense, wal amra, and the imperative, wal masdara, and the infinitive, min al-af'al al-atiyati, from the following verbs. Whereas the easy translation, write the mudari, the amr, and the masdar of each of the following verbs. So we have al-madi, past, al-mudari'u, the present, al-amru, imperative, al-masdaru, the masdar or infinitive. Shahada, this is example number 1. Shahada, yushahidu, and fail al-amr is shahid, and al-masdaru is mushahadatun. Or we can also say, as we normally say, mushahadatan. Both of them are okay. Now, as we know that form number 2, the derived form number 2, 3, and 4, all of them for the mudari, they start with you. And also, al-masdar also starts with mu, as we can see over here. So, shahada, yushahidu, fail al-amr is shahid, and al-masdar, mushahadatun or mushahadatan. Qabala, to meet. Qabala, yuqabilu, it is also used for the interview. And then we have fi'l al-amr qabil, and masdar is muqabalatan. All right. Now it's your turn. I'm sure you can do it. Samaha. Yes.
يسامح
Yusamihu. Excellent.
يسامح
Samih. And
مسامحة
musamahatan أو musamahatun. Excellent. Perfect. So when we have like when we say shahada yushahidu mushahadatan, so whenever we say masdar is used as maf'ul bihi, and we know maf'ul bihi is always mansub. However, here since we have al amr and al masdar, so we can also say it with the tanween. That's also possible. Samaha yusamihu, samih, and musamahatan, that means to forgive. Okay. Yes, next.
ساعد to help, right?
Sa'ada, to help. Excellent.
ساعد يساعد ساعد
Sa'id, excellent. And
مساعدة مساعدة
musa'adatun. Yes, excellent. So we have sa'ada, yusa'idu, and fi'l al-amr is sa'id, and masdar will be musa'adatun. Excellent, to help. Rasala, that means to correspond. Yes, the same pattern. Rasala,
يراسل
yurasilu, rasil,
راسل
and then we have murasala. Then
مراسلة
perfect, excellent. Raja'a, to review. Yes,
راجع يراجع راجع مراجعة
excellent. Raja'a, yuraji'u, and then we have raji', and then masdar will be muraja'atan. Then we have hawala, to try.
حاول what is the meaning of حاول أستاذ?
Hawala, to try.
To try.
Yes, hawala, yes.
يحاول
Yuhawilu,
حاول
hawil,
محاولة
muhawalatan. Excellent, perfect. So yuhawilu, hawil, and muhawalatan. So if I ask you, please answer this, you will say, ana uhawil, I will try to answer. Okay, akhadha, to punish, yeah, or to take some, to hold someone accountable. Akhadha, yes.
يؤاخذ
Yu'akhidhu, yes.
آخذ
Akhid, and
مؤاخذة
mu'akhadatan. Excellent, mu'akhadatan, perfect. Laqa, that means to meet, yes. Laqa, and yeah, did you notice something here? This is al fi'l al naqis. It has yeah, it has alif maqsura in the end. Yeah, yes. Laqa,
يلاقي
yulaqi, yes.
لاقي
Laqin, yeah, because it was, you're right, it was laqi, but as we know that this is manqus, and in manqus, whenever we have a noun that is manqus, then it changes into kasratain. So it becomes laqin, excellent. And if you look at the masdar, it is mulaqayatun on the pattern of mufa'alatun. Mufa'alatun wa mulaqayatun. However, we have discussed in detail in book number 2 that when ya has fatha and there is fatha before it, or when we say that ya is mutaharrik and there is fatha before it, then it changes into alif. It changes into alif. So it has become mulaqatun. So ya has changed into alif. Why it has changed into alif? Because ya is mutaharrik and there is fatha before it. So this is the rule. Please remember this rule, that whenever ya is mutaharrik and there is fatha before it, it changes into alif. The same goes to waw. When waw is mutaharrik and there is fatha before it, it changes into alif. For example, qawala changes into qala. Qawala changes into qala. Do you remember the rule? I hope so. Yeah, we discussed in detail. Yeah, in book number 2. And then we have on the same pattern, bara, that means to compete. Bara. It's so the present tense will be yubari, and fi'l al-amr will be barin. Yes, and what will be the masdar?
مبارية
مباراة
Excellent. Yeah.
مباراة
Perfect. Yeah, it will be mubarayatun. Asluhu will be mubarayatun, but when we implement the rule, then it will change into mubaratun. Mubaratun. Yeah, excellent. As we can see over here, mubaratun. And let's have a look at the original form. As you rightly said, the original form is mubarajatun on the pattern of mufa'alatun. It's perfect. But whenever we have the weak letters, then we have to implement the rules of the weak letters because they keep on changing. And once we implement the rules of the weak letters, then what happens? Ya changes into alif. So it becomes mubaratun. That is the only change that takes place in the masdar. And also we have to remember that whenever we have the weak letter in the end, especially alif maqsura, then some changes will take place when we talk about ismul fa'il, ismul maf'ul, or when we talk about fi'l al-amr, or when we talk about the masdar. Okay, li babi fa'ala, for bab fa'ala, masdaran. There are two masdaran. Mufa'alatun wa fi'alun. We discussed in the beginning of the lesson, yeah? So it has two masdar, mufa'alatun wa fi'alun. Nahwu qatala, muqatalatun wa qitalun. So we have two of them. And we might have seen, and you might have seen in the Quran that most of the times the one that is used in the Quran is this one. This pattern is also used, but it's not used a lot. The one that is used a lot in the Quran or in Arabic language is the one that is on the pattern of fi'alun, as we can see over here. Yes, do you have any question?
No, sir.
Okay. هات المصدر على وزن فعال من الأفعال الآتية. So now we have to give the masdar of each of the following verbs on the pattern of fi'alun. So jahada, I need the masdar, yes, on the pattern of fi'alun. Yes.
Jihadun.
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 Excellent. Jihadun. Perfect. Nafaqa.
Nifaqun.
Nifaqun. Excellent. Yes. So munafaqatun is not used. Really, it's not used a lot, but nifaq is used a lot. Even sometimes we use it in Urdu as well, and jihad is used a lot in the Quran as well. Alaja.
علاج
Ilajun.
Ilaj.
Yeah. Ilaj wa mu'alaja. In Urdu, we use the word ilaj wa mu'alaja. Ilaj wa mu'alaja. So basically, these both of them are the masdaran of fa'ala. And then we have nada, yunadi, and masdar is munadatun wa nida'un. Nida'un is basically nida'yun because we have alif maqsura. And do you remember the rule? The rule is in masdar, whenever we have ya or waw after alif, they change into hamza. And we have discussed this rule in detail. So in masdar, it can happen in the regular form as well sometimes, but especially in masdar, whenever we have ya and waw, before that we have alif, then ya and waw change into hamza. So it has changed into nida'un. What is ismul fa'il of qala? Ismul fa'il, the doer. Qala yaqulu
قائل
qailun. Excellent. So what happened basically? It was qawilun. It was
The waw
qawilun,
changed.
yeah. But what happened over here? Waw has changed into hamza. Why? Because before that we have alif. It can happen in ismul fa'il as well, but it always happens when we talk about masdar, as we can see over here. Ba'a yabi'u, and the person who sells something, what do we call him?
بائع بائع.
Excellent. So again here, baji'un, there was ya, and that ya has changed into hamza. So once you like go through the rules and once you discuss them and like practice them, inshallah you will get used to them. This idea is clear now, hopefully.
So why do we specify that this only happens in masdar or sometimes in noun file? Isn't it the case always?
No, it's not always the case, yeah. Especially as I specified, the grammarians they have mentioned that it happens in masdar. It like always happens in masdar. So masdar it is like 100%. Whereas the other derived forms, as we have discussed now, it can also happen in ismul fa'il. I'm not sure about ismul maf'ul, but it always happens with the derived forms and not the original forms.
Okay, Jazakallah.
وإياكم. All right. هاتي أسماء الفاعلين. Why do we have فاعلين?
مضاف إليه
مضاف إليه.
and
Yeah, مضاف إليه. So what was the original form? فاعلون. Una, ina, ina. So for Jam'a, we have una, ina, ina. And hati bring asma'a is mudaf and al-fa'ilina is mudaf ilayh min al-af'al al-atiyati. So now we have to give the ism al-fa'il of each of the following verbs. Ism al-fa'il is easier to make in this form of the verb, as we know. What we normally do, as we discussed, that it is the mudari is you and ism al-fa'il is also mu. So rasala yurasilu, what will be ism al-fa'il?
Murasilun.
Murasilun. So
Murasil.
what we do basically, if you look at the mudari, so we change ya into mu, and then in the end we put tanween, so it becomes murasilun, the one who corresponds. Similarly, we have shahada yushahidu, and ismul fa'il will be
Mushahidun.
mushahidun. Excellent, perfect. Sa'ada yusaidu, help.
Nusa'idun.
Musa'idun. So now I'm sure you can do the conjugation as well. The الصرف الصغير راسل يراسل فهو مراسل شاهد يشاهد فهو مشاهد. Similarly, ساعد يساعد فهو مساعد. And the second last letter has kasra when we talk about اسم الفاعل. Yes, جاهد يجاهد فهو
Mujahidun.
مجاهد. Excellent. سافر يسافر فهو
Musafirun.
Musafirun.
مسافر. Similarly, we have هاجر يهاجر فهو مهاجر.
Muhajir.
أنا مهاجر إلى ربي. Okay. راقب يراقب
Muraqibun.
فهو مراقب. مراقب shows up a lot in most of the lessons. Yeah, we have seen that many times. Then we have هات اسم الفاعل واسم المفعول من خاطب. Only from خاطب we have to provide اسم الفاعل and اسم المفعول. خاطب يخاطب فهو
Mukhatibun.
مخاطب is اسم الفاعل.
Mukha-
Yes, and اسم المفعول will be
Mukhatabun.
مخاطب. Perfect. So whenever we have اسم المفعول, then the second last letter has fatha, and اسم الفاعل it has kasra, as we can see over here. What do we call to the second person in Arabic? What is the second person called?
Mukhatabun.
Mukhatab, yeah. So we have ghaib, which is a third person, which is the third person. Then we have the second person, which is called al mukhatab, and then we have the first person, which is called al mutakallim. Do you remember these? Yeah, al mutakallim. So we have ghaib, yeah, ghaib like huwa wa hiya wa hum, and we have mukhatab like anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, and then we have al mutakallim ana wa nahnu. Excellent. All right. تأمل الأمثلة الآتية لباب فعل. Again, we have to reflect on the examples of فعل. وعين. What is عين?
Command.
Excellent. Imperative. Imperative of verb form number. Which verb form number?
Sabbaha yusabbihu.
Sabbaha yusabbihu.
Excellent. So it is derived from number 2. وعين فيها الماضية. So we have to specify the past, والمضارع, and the present, والأمر, and the imperative, والمصدر, and مصدر or infinitive, واسم الفاعل, واسم المفعول, and اسم الفاعل, and اسم المفعول. So now we have to specify all the forms that we always discuss in الصرف الصغير, the past, the present, the imperative, infinitive, اسم الفاعل, and اسم المفعول. هاجر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من مكة المكرمة إلى المدينة المنورة عام 22 و600 للميلاد. First, we will focus on form number 3 that we are discussing now. And then if you would like to, you can also focus on the other forms that we have already completed. So Where is what do we have over here? Hajara. Which form
Hajara.
is this? Yeah, what is this?
Form 3. The
Form 3 is
past.
Past. Fail madi, right? Or fail madin. Okay. Past tense of form number 3. Al mukarrama. What do you think about this one?
Form 2.
2.
Karama
Okay.
yukarrimu.
Okay, perfect.
Ismul maf'ul.
Ismul maf'ul. Excellent. Mukarrama. Okay. And munawwara.
is
The
form
same.
2
Yeah,
maf'ul, same.
nawara, yunawiru tanwiran, to light up or to make something like lit up. And then we have munawwara. Munawwara is ismul
Maf'ul.
maf'ul. Excellent.
Maf'ul.
And this is also from number 2, as we can see here. So both of them are from number 2, and both of them are ismul maf'ul. Excellent. Safar abi ila Riyadi lil ilaji. My father traveled to Riyadh for treatment.
Safara is form number 3.
Safara al-ilaji.
Yeah, I think we don't need to focus. We don't need to say form number 3. We know we are discussing form number 3. If we have any other form, then we will mention that. So safara is the past tense, fail madi, and
Al-ilaji is masdar.
علاج is مصدر. Excellent. ذهبت لمقابلة المدير فلم أجده في مكتبه. I went to meet the manager, but I did not find him in his office.
قابلة is مقابلة.
مقابلة is what?
Masdar.
مقابلة مصدر.
مصدر. Excellent. Okay. ما عندي وقت لمشاهدة برامج التلفاز. I don't have time to watch television programs.
مشاهدة is مصدر.
مصدر. Excellent. شاهد يشاهد مشاهدة. Perfect. نادي المراقبة يا علي. Call the controller, O Ali.
نادي نادي is فعل الأمر أستاذ.
Excellent.
نادي.
Yes, Nadi is فعل الأمر. Excellent. Nadi. Okay. Nadi al-muraqiba, and we can see that the noun that follows it is mansub. So it confirms that this is فعل الأمر. Okay. If I ask Fatima, then what will be the فعل الأمر? Instead of Ali, if I have Fatima, what will I say?
نادية.
Nadi. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, when we read it, then we will read it in the same way. Nadi al-muraqiba. We will not say Nadi al-muraqiba. It will be pronounced in the same way. However, the mukhatab will confirm whether it is masculine or feminine. Ana murasilu sahifatin.
Murasil.
Murasil. Yeah.
Ismul fa'il.
مفاعل.
So what is this? Ismul fa'il or ismul maf'ul? Ismul fa'il. I'm going to send a letter, yeah, or I am the sender of the letter. If you remember that ismul fa'il, normally it is used as mudaf, and the noun that follows it is mudaf ilayh. And it can be translated as I'm going to do something, or I am the doer of something. Both of them are possible. Both translations are possible. So I am going to send a letter, or I am the sender of the letter. في التنزيل in the Quran, ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. Yes, please.
تؤاخذنا.
تؤاخذ. Okay, so no, isn't it لا تؤاخذ?
لا تؤاخذ فعل نهي.
فعل النهي. And here it will be, in the Quran it will be فعل الدعاء. We are making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا, if we forget, أو أخطأنا, or if we make any mistakes. Okay, beautiful dua, of course. من أدعية الاستفتاح. أدعية is the plural of dua. Excellent. Dua. Okay, du'aun and ad'iyatun. Okay, do you remember any other noun on the same pattern? Ad'iyatun.
Dawa.
Adwiyatun with the, okay, adwiya, the medicine. Okay, then something,
Ajwibatun.
something that we come across every day. As'ilatun wa ajwibatun. And in the Quran we have alsinatun, right? And similarly we have Adiyatun. So min adiyatil istiftah. What is istiftah?
Opening.
Opening of opening. So it is istaftaha, yastaftihu, istiftahan from number 10. So we have the opening prayers. When do we have these, or we have opening du'as? When do we make these opening du'as? When we start our
Pray.
prayer about takbirat al-ula, right? So we normally the most common is subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika wa tabarak asmuka wa ta'ala jadduka wa la ilaha ghayruk. However, there are many masnoon du'as that we have, and we can normally also make these du'as as well, so that we have here Allahumma ba'id. Yes, what do you think about ba'id?
Amr.
Amr, okay. And here it will be failed dua. Excellent. Ba'ada yuba'idu muba'adatan means to separate or to remove. Okay, Allahumma ba'id bayni wa bayna khatayaya, between me and between my like wrongdoings. Kama mistakes.
بعد
Kama
فعل ماضي.
ba'atta, yeah, past tense, fil madi. Of ba'ada, right? كما بعدت بين المشرق والمغرب, as you removed the distance between east and west. Allahumma naqqini. Naqqini, of course, we know that this one is not from number 3. So first, first we focus on form number 3, and then we will come back to the other forms. من الخطايا كما ينقى الثوب الأبيض من الدنس. اللهم اغسل خطاياي بالماء والثلج والبرد. So I think we don't have other forms of form number 3. So we only have ba'id, which is fi'l al-amr, and ba'adta is past tense. Okay, Allahumma naqqini. What about naqqi? This is form number 2. And what is this? Fi'l al-amr, yeah, or fi'l al-du'a. Yeah, naqqi, naqqa yunaqqi, tanqiyatan means to purify. So Allahumma naqqini min al-khataya. Oh Allah, please purify me from the mistakes. Kama, as yunaqqa. What do you think about this one? What form is this? Majhul. Is this past or present?
Present.
Present. Why? Because we have alamat al-mudari. Yeah, yunaqqa. Yeah. So it's naqqa yunaqqi, and the past tense will be nuqqiya, and the mudari will be yunaqqa. Kama yunaqqa athawb al-abyadu, as the white cloth is purified, min ad-danasi, from dirt. Allahumma ghsil, as we know here from number 1, Allahumma ghsil khatayaya. And then again we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to wash out our mistakes. Bil ma'i, with water, with thalji, and with ice or snow, wal baradi, and with the hailstone. So such beautiful words that are that used to be, the Arabs used to use these words. We can say these could be metaphoric, and these could be like the real words as well. So al-ma wa thalj wal barad, beautiful words that have been used over here. And this dua is also dua al-istiftah, which we can make when we start our prayer. عن قتادة قال. عن قتادة. Why do we have it ta and not qatadati? Mamnu min as-sarf. Excellent. Because it's the name. قلت لأنس, I said to Anas, أكانت المصافحة في أصحاب النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم؟ قال نعم. Do the companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to shake hands? And he said yes. Musafaha. Yes, please. Which form is this? Masdar. Safaha, yusafihu, musafahatan. That means to shake hands. Okay. قال تعالى إنا أنزلناه في ليلة مباركة إنا كنا منذرين. Yes. Mubarakah. Maf'ul. Ismul maf'ul, right? Yeah. So baraka yubariku, fahuwa mubarikun. And then we have, what will be the passive of baraka? Burika. Excellent. Burika yubaraku, fahuwa mubarakun. So mubarak is blessed for the masculine, and mubarakatun will be the feminine. blessed, as we can see over here, in the blessed night. Inna kunna munzirin. What about here? Inna kunna munzirin. I would like you to analyze this because I'm sure you can do that now.
Like Munzirin is from form Andhara Yundiru.
Yeah, so it's ismul fa'il as well, munzirin.
Ismul Fa'il.
Yeah, but why is it mansoob over here? Is it mansoob or majroor?
Mansoob because it's khabar
Kunna.
What is this? Khabaru?
Inna.
Khabar of Kana.
Khabaru kana. Yes,
Khabru kana.
khabaru kana. Where is ismu kana?
In
Na
the kunna.
Yes,
Na.
kunna. So basically, nahnu, right? So it will be nahnu because kunna is the last form of the past tense. So ismu kana will be nahnu, or we can say it's the inbuilt. And we know that ismu kana is always marfu. We discussed in the previous lesson, and khabaru kana is always mansoob. Do you remember the example that we discussed in the previous lesson?
Yes, Ustad.
What is it?
Can Allah.
Kan Allahu.
Can Allah.
Yes,
Aliman
Aliman Hakima. Excellent. Yeah. So if you remember one example, that would be fine. Okay. Where is Ismu Inna and where is Khabaru Inna? Because Inna also has Ismu Inna and Khabaru Inna.
Ismu Inna is inside. Nahnu.
Inside
Again.
Nahnu.
Inna,
Yeah.
nahnu is khabar, ismu inna.
Yes.
Kunna munzirin ismu, jumla ismiya khabru inna.
Yes.
Yeah, khabru inna.
Khabaru Inna. Yeah. So like, Ismu Inna and Khabaru Inna. Perfect. That's right. So you see, we have sentences within the sentences. Subhanallah. Okay. Inna Allaha laghafurur rahim. What kind of lam is this? Do you remember the name? I'm sure now by this time you should have memorized the name of this lam.
Lam taqi.
La.
Musalfa. Lam musalfa. Musalka.
Muzahlaqa. Yeah.
Musahlaka.
In fact, in the first time when I was like doing this, the conjugation in the beginning of the lesson, I also missed it out. Yeah. So it's zahlaka yuzahliku. Yeah. To slip or to slip away, to displace.
Yeah.
And muzahlaqun is ismul fa'il, and muzahlaqun with fatha it will be ismul maf'ul. And we know that this is the feminine, so we have to add ta marbuta, so it becomes muzahlaqatun.
This is also for taqeed, no? Taqeed.
Exactly, tawqid, yeah. So we have now inna, which is used for emphasis, and we also have lam that is used for emphasis. Initially, we have learned that this is lam al-ibtada, and it comes only on mubtada. Lam al-ibtada comes on mubtada. But when we use inna, then it slides, it moves from mubtada to khabar. Why it moves from mubtada to khabar? Because inna and lam, both of them are used for emphasis and they cannot come together. So that's why it's called lam al-muzahlaqatu, the lam that has been displaced. Inna Allaha laghafurur rahim. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most forgiving, the most merciful. Surah Al-Nahl. هذه لام الابتداء دخلت على خبر إن. It entered on خبر إن المكسورة وتسمى حينئذ, and at this time it is called لام المزحلقة or لام المزحلقة. It is called لام المزحلقة. وهاء أمثلة للام المزحلقة. What's the meaning of هاء?
It take.
Take. Excellent. And take. So this is basically noun which is used for amr. So this is ismul amr, and waha'a amthilatan, and after that we can see that the noun is mansoob, so that means it is used as fi'l amr. And take the examples lillam al-amri, lillam al-muzahlakati, for the displaced lam. Okay. Do you remember the example of ha'a in the Quran? We have discussed in one of the previous lessons. هاء مقرأ كتابية. إني ظننت أني ملاق حسابية. هاء. So if it is for singular, we say هاء, and if it is for plural, we say هاء. And in the Quran we have هاء مقرأ كتابية. Okay, so we have examples over here. Inna ilahukum lawahid. Indeed, your God is one. So we can see over here inna and then we have lawahid. The combination of inna and lam al muzahlaqa. Wa inna awhan al buyuti labaytul ankabut. And indeed, the weakest of homes is the home of the spider. Why is it translated as the weakest? Awhana.
Is
Hana is af'al
is
pattern,
for
na?
Af'al pattern,
tafdeel.
excellent. And if after that we have min, then it will be translated as comparative.
Comparative.
And if we have a noun after
Yeah.
that, the noun will be majroor and it will be used as superlative. So wa inna awhan al buyuti labaytul ankabut. And we can see over here we have again combination of inna and then la al muzahlaqa. Inna ankar al aswati la sawt al hamir. Surely the ugliest of voices is the voice of the donkeys, as we can see here again. Ankara is again on the pattern of af'ala, so this is also af'ala tafdil. That's why the noun after that is majroor, and we can see that the ugliest, the translation is also the superlative. Innahu la Qur'anun Kareem. Indeed, it is a noble Quran. And again, we have inna, and then we have la. Inna awwala baytin wudi'a linnasi lalladhi bibakkata. Where is lam al-muzahlaqa over here?
Lalladhi.
La. It is here. La
Lalladhi.
and then alladhi. Yeah, la and alladhi, and because we have laman, two lams over there, so that's why that Hamzat al-Wasl has been dropped and it has changed into tashdid. Lalladhi bibakkata. Bibakkata is the old name of Makkah. Inna awwala baytin wudi'a linnasi lalladhi bibakkata. Indeed, the first house of worship is established for mankind was at Makkah, that is, i.e., Makkah, for example, Makkah. All right, inshallah, we are like done with most of the exercises, and when we come back again, we will continue our exercises. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.